Alright, solve equations containing radicals. So here's your equation. First thing you want to do is isolate the radicals on opposite sides of the equation. So we're going to add square root of x minus 4 to both sides. So that knocks it off of this side and moves it over to the right side of the equation. So that's all that happened on that step. And the reason why we're going to do that is that we're going to end up squaring both sides, and we want to have the radicals separated on both sides to do it. So the thing is, when you square both sides of an equation, you get a true equation, but you introduce extraneous solutions. For example, let's say you had x minus 1, or make it easier than that, x equal 1, and you square both sides. Okay, the solutions of the resulting equation are x equals plus or minus 1. The negative 1 is extraneous because really the only solution was 1 in the original equation. And we got a possibility of negative 1 out of squaring both sides. And that's not correct. So we always have to be on watch for that. Okay, now you square both sides and it undoes the square root and you get this. Then over here you're squaring out a binomial. You square the first, square root of x minus 4 squared is x minus 4. You multiply the two terms together and double it. We've done that before. It would have been negative square root of x minus 4, but it's negative 2 square root of x minus 4 because we double it, and then square the last, plus 1. Alright, then we're going to work on this a little bit. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. That's all was done there. Then we're going to add 3 to both sides. That gives you the 2. We're going to subtract x from both sides. So 1/2 x minus x is going to be negative 1/2 x. So that's all that happened on that step. Now we have a square root. We're going to square both sides again to solve for that. So again, it's a true statement, but might introduce extraneous solutions. So you square both sides, you square the first, this is a binomial, you square the first, you get this. You multiply them together, and that would be negative x doubled is negative 2x, square the last is 4. Over here, negative 2 squared is positive 4. Square root of x minus 4 squared is just x minus 4. Then you're going to maneuver this to be a quadratic equation. You distribute, and you get this. Now, you're going to add, subtract 4x from both sides. So it comes over here to make negative 6x when you combine it with this. And then you're going to add 16 to both sides. It's going to come over here to be 20. And now you're going to either factor or use the quadratic formula. First step I did here was I took this and I multiplied it by 4 on both sides. So basically, to make it look right, I did this. Okay, multiplied by 4. That got rid of the fractions, and it's resulted in a true equation. It's a true equation. So now I'm going to, you distribute in, and that's how you get this part. Then you factor it, and it factored nice. So that x was 20, or x was 4. X is 20 coming out of here, x is 4 coming out of here. So you must check each possible solution in the original equation to see if they satisfy the equation. This is because squaring both sides introduces extraneous, that is 4. Alright, so now we check the x equals 20. into the original equation. So you have, here's the original equation. So you put in the 20 for the x, here's the x, put in the 20, here's the x, put in the 20. Then you get square root of 10 minus 1. Square root of 10 minus 1 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. 20 minus 14 is 16. Square root of 16 is 4. 3 minus 4 is -1. And we had these, you put these question marks when you don't know it's true yet. And it worked out, yes, it's true. So 20 is a solution. Then we go on to check 4 and see what happens. You have the equation. You put in 4 for x. Here's the x, here's the 4. And 1/2 4 is 2 minus 1. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 minus 4 is 0. Square root of 0 is 0. 1 minus 0 is not. So you put not equal to -1. So no, 4 doesn't work. So 20 is the correct solution and the only solution. And let's verify that with the calculator. We put in the left side of the equation, the original equation. I put 0.5 instead of 1/2. And then to save some room. And then -1 is what the right side of the equation was. So I'm showing you the window because I had to play around with the window to see the intersection the right way. This is how it graphs. It's interesting that it just stops out of nowhere right there. But if you look at these functions in here, to the left of 4, you have square root of a negative number, and that can't be. That's why there's no more graph over here. These are marked off in 5. So below 4, there's no other graph over there. Anyway, you do a second calc intersect with the line y equal -1 and the function. And you find this point right here, x equals 20. And when it's 20, the y is -1, which is what that is. So it verifies it.